Thank you for agreeing to be interviewed. Maybe you could introduce yourself.
My name is Ronald Hastings.
When were you born, Ron?
I was born on the 25th of October 1928.
Ron, at the outbreak of war, what were you doing?
I was an apprentice in the printing industry on 7 shillings and 6pence a week.
How did you end up getting drafted, Ron? And how old were you?
Well, I wasn't drafted so much as volunteered. Now, at that time, lots of youngsters who were just underage were looking to get into Bomber Command. That was my future as I saw it. So it meant you had to be 18 to be accepted. Now, I was only 17 at the time, but like thousands of other young fellows, it meant adjusting your birth certificate.
How did you get around the restrictions?
It became common knowledge amongst my age group that one of the people used to clean their false teeth would re-wet the ink that was used to sign off or date legal documents. And if you dropped a couple of drops of this particular chemical on the signatures and dates on birth certificates, it refloated the ink, and you could just mop it up with a bit of blotting paper and put your required date and signature in place.
What did the family say when you told them that you'd been drafted?
Well, much to my amazement, my father accepted the thing. He even suggested that he accompanied me to Euston Station to see me off.
Once you joined, what was the first unit that you went to, Ron?
The first unit I went to was Padgate. That's where we did all our square bashing and drills. And
what was the first unit that you went to, Ron?
When my training was completed, I was sent to RAF Kirkham, and where my aircrew training and weapon training was completed.
When you completed your training and joined your next unit, you must have heard lots of stories from people that had flown during the war. Which one of those stories that stands out most with you?
Well, the raid that stands out more than anything else is the Peenemünde raid. That was where Churchill had got on to Bomber Command and said that we've got to do something about stopping the rockets, otherwise we'd lose a great deal of our heritage, London becoming flattened with the V2 rockets that were being manufactured at Peenemünde. This brought in Bomber Harris, our Commander-in-Chief, and also the bouncing bomb chap to design the bomb, because the factory manufacturing these V2 rockets was way underground in what they thought was a bomb-safe centre in this place called Peenemünde, which was on the Baltic coast. So having brought all the ingredients together, as it were, eventually the day arrived when our aircraft were especially lightened so that we could take the big tall boy bombs which weighed approximately 10 tons to be able to penetrate the depths and get into this place and obliterate the whole scene. So the Pathfinders went in first. They went in and they dropped their flares for us to aim our aiming point. But Jerry had one trick up his sleeve still. He managed to obliterate the target and the flares with a big smoke screen. And it meant we had to orbit until the Pathfinders could get in again and drop another load of flares for us, which made us very vulnerable. And the journey is somewhere around 7 to 8 hours there and back. And
I seem to recollect you told me that you'd been on a maintenance flight, Ron, and that it had crashed. What happened?
We hit what they told us later was part of their high intensity lighting setup, which held the aircraft. And when we landed, half on the runway, half on the grass, I got thrown clear of the aircraft, and my flying suit was ripped, and I got a whole load of gravel and muck in my arm and shoulder. And the next thing I remember was coming round in the hospital, and there was a nurse sitting by the bed. Just a moment, she said, "I'll get the surgeon." And the next thing, this realised where I am, what happened, and I didn't. My mind was completely gone. I had no memory, no nothing. And it was the most frightening moment of my life. I didn't know what I was, who I was, and anything. And he said, "Just take your time. Just take your time." He said, "You'll be all right now." And he put his hand on me. And it appears I'd come to when they were trying to patch my arm, clean my arm and shoulder up. And of course, that weekend I'd arranged to meet Pat at Euston, and we were having a weekend together in London. And I said to him, can I get... He said, all right. He said, "I'll get the orderly to come and have a word with you." And this Raf Waller came in, and I said to him, I was going to meet my girlfriend, Pat Gillis, at Euston on Saturday morning, I said. And that'll be tomorrow. I said, "I'm not going to get out of here, am I?" And he said, "No." I said, "Well, can you contact her?" She was at, where the bloody hell was she? Chippenham somewhere. Wherever she was anyway. I give him the phone number and that, and he told her that I got a heavy cold, because I didn't want him to tell her I was in a mess. My face as well was full of gravel and stuff. I forgot about my face. Pat always used to say she was kissing me ass, because they took skin from my backside to graft this. To sum up my life would be a bit difficult, but I think I can manage something in that. But as I say, we got married. I went back into the printing industry, and I had to go back as I forgot what they called them now, but to start more or less over again. And as it happened, in that period between leaving school, going into print, I'd got advanced because there was such a shortage of people, and I managed to get back as an improver, which meant I was a sort of semi-apprentice come printer improver. And I got back, and I must have showed plenty of aptitude, because I also got into management quite quickly. And because I had a good eye for colour, I was able to carry colour in my eye and be able to mix and match colours quite easily. I became quite skilled in the printing industry, and my company at the time sent me to America to get some particular details of their colour coding system and bring it back to the UK. Pat Gillis. She was a wonderful person, and she and I got together, and we got married after we left the Air Force. She wanted to get married pretty well straight away, but I didn't want to get married until we were actually finished in the service, which we did. And she and I had a marriage. I've often heard it said, a marriage made in heaven. Well, I won't go so far as to say that, but it was a marriage and a partnership. And we had a really good life together. And I owe that young lady so much. Pat and I were together for 75 odd wonderful years. And I've had a really wonderful life.